Hey, if you're a homeowner dealing with a denied or delayed claim, or just want a second opinion from real adjusters, we want to hear from you. I'm putting together a new segment of Beyond the Claim where we visit real homeowners and take a look at what's going on with your damages. You've got to be open and willing to let us review your claim, discuss it on camera, and show what's really happening with your property. Because this is all about transparency and education. Our panel of licensed adjusters will give their honest professional opinion on your situation, what went right, what went wrong, and what options you still have. So if this sounds like you, head over to beyondtheclaim.com and click on submit your claim. Tell us what's going on, and you might be featured in one of our upcoming episodes of Beyond the Claim Field Files. This is real claims, real damages, real advice. That's what we're here for. Now, this is a call out to right now the Atlanta, Georgia area and its surrounding counties. We are looking forward to hearing from you, and we are looking forward to reviewing your claim. All right, so let's get ready to review who State Farm is. Now, they tell us that State Farm is your good neighbor, but lately that neighbor may be the one raising your premiums, denying your claims, and quietly funding the politicians that are shaping the laws that control your money. Homeowners, welcome back. The rebellion has begun. This is how we rebuild, not just by repairing our homes, but by educating ourselves and about the companies that claim to protect our homes. And also the companies we so willingly give our money to without a background check. You know, they do a credit check on us when we get ready to, get a policy from them. It is time that we start doing background checks on them. So let's start with the basics of State Farm. State Farm, headquartered in Bloomington, Illinois, is the largest personal line insurer in the United States. Now, I did hear that Progressive has outpaced them with auto insurance. So Progressive is the one who have the most auto insurance right now in the United States. Now, State Farm, they are a mutual company, which means they're technically owned by their policyholders. That means you. Do you feel like an owner? On paper, it sounds solid. Over 145 billion in net worth as of 2024, and a top financial strength rating of A++ from AM Best. Now that means when it comes to paying claims, they got the money, right? But the question is, do they have the willingness? In 2023, State Farm took a $6 billion loss. 1 year later, they reported a 5.3 billion profit. So what changed? They didn't find new magic math. They found you. Higher premiums, rate hikes across multiple states, especially in high risk states like California and Florida. Texas should be upon that list as well. They recovered their billions, but many homeowners now struggle to afford their coverage. Let that sink in, because they had that loss of billions of dollars, but that next year they came back and said they had a surplus. Their surplus went up and your premiums went up as well. So that means they recovered it by hiking the rates on your premiums. Yeah. And that's pretty much what all insurance companies do. But let's talk about politics. State Farm Federal Political Action Committee donated over $500,000 to this election cycle. About 57% went to Republicans and 43% went to Democrats. So they pretty much lean towards Republican to me. And but when I look at it, it's more like straddling the fence. So pretty much that means for us, it means while we're trying to figure out how we're going to pay our homeowners premium, your good neighbor, which is State Farm, is paying politicians, making sure Insurance laws work in their favor, not yours. They even paused political contributions in 2021, but quietly resumed them soon after. Let's be real. When money flows to both sides, that's not about politics. That's about protection. Yeah, they're protecting they're protecting their business. And that's exactly why we're having this conversation. I'm giving you this knowledge so you can protect your business, which is your home and also your money. And they're not protecting you. They're actually to the point to where they're trying to protect the system that they will lean on to protect them. Understand? All right. Now, to be fair, I do have to let you know they do give back. State Farm gives back. State Farm gave back over $12 million in community grants last year. They support Habitat for Humanity, youth safety programs, and local nonprofit. They even help fund volunteer fire departments and education initiatives. Yeah. So they do give back. That is the truth. Can't take that from them. And let me tell you, that is some good work. But here's the reality. After a storm hits, charity can't replace your roof. It can't replace your roof. It's a great PR. It's great for PR that they give charity. But homeowners need performance. When we file that claim, we need that claim to be worked immediately. Yeah. You can build homes for others, but if you're not protecting the people who already have one, something is off balance here. So let's talk about State Farm service, because that's where the truth shows up. It's the service that you're giving to your subscribers, to your policyholders. You can have all this, you can do all this service and charity work, but if you're not showing up on the service end, definitely there's not a balance. Now, NerdWallet gives State Farm 4.7 out of 5 stars. Money Geek rate them 4.5 out of 5 stars. But the Better Business Bureau, who we file complaints to, because I did it before with the company. I wasn't the only one that complained on this company when I had my logistics business. But the Better Business Bureau take complaints from people like us. They give State Farm a 1.23 out of 5 stars from over 2,000 reviews. That's from over 2,000 reviews. Thousands of homeowners say the same thing. My claim was denied. They took months to respond. They raised my rates after one claim. And about months of responding, that's more like a delayed claim. And me personally, as a claims adjuster, when claims are delayed or when there's little response, that means that your adjuster that's on your claim have a lot of claims. And it's hard for them to juggle them all. They may have small claims. They may have catastrophic claims. That gives you an indication that they have more work than workers. And they should keep independent adjusters on board. But State Farm is one of the companies that are starting not to use independent adjusters anymore. They pretty much are trying to fade us out of their business unless they have a catastrophic hurricane to come through. Then they'll probably work us for about 1 to 2 months and let us go. Now, me personally, when I look at that, that doesn't really sound like a good neighbor. If they're delaying your claims, denying your claims, raising your rates, can't get to customer service your claims because one person has too many. To me personally, that almost sounds like a corporate landlord just collecting rent, but not giving the service that is due for the premiums that you're paying. So while the commercials are friendly, the service, let's just say it's complicated. State Farm do need to work on that service part. Now, here's what I want every homeowner to understand. State Farm has the financial muscle, but that doesn't always translate to protection for you. With those delayed claims, your rates going up as soon as you file a claim, which I tell homeowners anyways. rates go up every year. Normally your rate is going to go up. So if you have a claim, go ahead and file that claim, and don't ask, will this increase my rates? Because rates go up every year. You got to negotiate, you got to do research, and you got to go out and start shopping around for rates every year. So this is what I need you to know, and I need you to do this. I want you to check your renewal history and zip code pattern in your zip code. I'm sorry, check your renewal history and rate pattern in your zip code. That is something you want to do every year. I was told by a CFO of a bank that he always renew and look for different companies every single year. Every time his renewal come in, he's looking for new coverage, or he's looking for a better rate, because no matter what, you stay with them, your rate goes up. Even though you stay with them, that rate goes up. Also, I want you to read the reviews from other homeowners in your state before you just choose someone. And this is the whole basis of us getting to know our insurance company who insure our homes, who we're willingly giving our money to because of commercials we see. And because if it's easy, we can just look up State Farm or Allstate or Farmers. They're known. But sometimes you have those smaller companies like your farm viewers in your area that gives really good rates, and they also give good service and customer service. Now, like I did say, you want to compare what other companies are offering. Stop just letting your policy renew and not checking in on it. That's how we get lazy. We can't be lazy anymore. We got to rebel. And a part of the rebellion is being aware, right? And you always have to ask. You're going to have to ask those hard questions. And if they don't have the answer, you need to ask them, find out, and then start searching for who have the answers that you're looking for. Listen, if you live in a state that normally get high winds, hurricanes, tornadoes, those things like that, don't go out and get a policy that does not cover wind just to have a lower premium. You're shooting yourself in the foot. You might as well not even have insurance, because if you live in a state that have high winds and you get a policy with no winds, those winds come through and your roof is torn up, you're not going to be covered. So keep that in mind. One thing you want to know when we're educating ourselves about these companies, who is the company that's really protecting me, or themselves? Or is it just about them, or are they keeping us in mind as well? Because in this economy, you can't afford blind loyalty. And that's what I would tell customers all the time. They will say to me, well, I've been with such and such for 10, 15 years. I'm loyal. And I would say, well, why? Because they're not loyal to you. They're going to raise those rates. Regardless, they're going to raise those rates. They're going to adjust that claim, and they're going to give you the same level of customer service that they've been given for years, unless they're doing a full restructure to be able to give great customer service again. And remember, you're choosing companies not just because they are a brand or have this brand or slogan that you know so well, just because you say, okay, State Farm, your neighbor, or Allstate, you're in good hands, or whatever. I understand you have the slogans, right? But then you also got to do your homework, because you may not be in good hands. They may not be a good neighbor. They may not, be the best insurance carrier for you at this moment, especially in the times that we are in right now in our financial state, right? Homeowners, this is how we fight back. This is how you rebel. Rebel is becoming informed. So we got to stop being uninformed, and we have to start searching. We have to start asking the hard questions. And one thing I tell you that about an adjuster, we know how to ask questions, and we know how to make a decision. We know how to investigate. But the best thing is about an adjuster is making a decision. So I'm going to put that on you, homeowners. You got to be able to make a decision. You got to be able to do your investigation, right? And then this will give you the ability to choose who is right for you and your family to protect your home and your finances. This rebellion isn't about breaking the system, right? It's pretty much about understanding it so we can rebuild this system with us in mind. The billionaires have always had their way with us. It is time, you guys. We got to fight back. So yes, listen, State Farm is a powerhouse. State Farm can pay your claim. But listen, This is about knowledge, power. And when you have that knowledge, you have that power. And the more we know, the stronger we become. The more we don't know, the weaker we are. Next week, we're going to be pulling back the curtain on another giant. We're going to tackle all states so you'll know who you're giving your money to. Hey, I really feel like we deserve to know who's really on our side, especially when the storm clears and you're having to clean up all that debris and that mess. You want to know who has your back. And this is how a rebellion begins, is when we become aware, right? And remember, awareness is how we rebuild. Awareness is what we decide where we're going to put our money. Listen, this is Contisi. I'm with Beyond the Claim, the adjuster's voice to homeowners. I want to get to 20,000 homes by the end of this year. I know that's a tall number. So please like and subscribe to the video, even share it. I'm going to keep bringing you information after information after information. And you see that QR code, will take you to beyondtheclaim.com. If you feel like, you have a claim that's been denied, delayed, or you want a second opinion from real adjusters, there's going to be a panel of us. There's going to be a panel of adjusters. There will be a contractor on board. There will also be a public adjuster on board that normally defend homeowners, right? So we're going to have a panel across the board trying to tell you what's your next step, what went wrong, how you can recover, right? What you can do better next time. And then in those videos, it can also teach more of us so we don't make those same mistakes. All right. Well, this is Contisia, and thank you for joining me. I will see you on the next show. Take care.